Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm Elisa, and yeah, I don't usually do readings at this time, but having trouble sleeping, so a lot of energy, so it's like, maybe I should just do a reading. So I think I'm going to do a reading for the new moon in Virgo, which is coming right up. Virgo's my sign, actually, on the 17th. So I'm going to start with Mystical Shaman Oracle to just get some energy. I want to remind you the giveaway for the month of September is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. So I'm going to be featuring this later in the reading. That giveaway is headquartered in the monthly reading. So this month, the reading is called Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Link it here. It's also on the main page of the channel. But yeah, so it's an overall reading for the month of September, and you know, like the big theme is just like sort of some oppressive situation that's kind of been maybe blocking you for a long time is kind of being removed. So it's a big turning point month this September. So this reading is going to be for the new moon in Virgo, which is around, I think it's on the 17th. So yeah, let's see what comes up. OMG. Okay, wow. This is really cool. I mean, the colors of all these, I mean, they really flow together in this beautiful way. So it's really cool how these cards also just like go together. So at the bottom we have the Wind, which was in, I believe it was in the last reading that I did. I'll link it. But this is a card about change, you know, and it's a card about like having the courage to face the change, you know. So it's just like when there's a change in your external world, there's always a change, you know, happening in your internal world too. So it's just sort of like having the courage to like do that examination on yourself and like what needs to change, and sort of like embracing that change and being the change, you know, is kind of what this card speaks to. But it's interesting because it flows really nicely into this card of the Medicine Wheel, which, I mean, this is a card of healing, and it's a card of evaluating, you know, I mean, just sort of like, you know, with each turn of the wheel, like there's a different part of the evaluation. Like, I mean, at first you'd look at sort of like, you know, what situations are like holding you back or not in alignment with who you want to be, you know. And then you have, you know, you take it, the next turn of the wheel is like looking at the relationships and situations specifically that are, you know, like blocking that evolution, you know. And then you want to examine your true north, like who do you really want to be, you know, in this next cycle of life, you know. And you want to like come into alignment with that, you know, what your true passions are and like who you want to be. And then finally just sort of like, you know, what you need to let go of so that you can step into that future, you know. So you know, this is like, you know, having the courage to do that internal evaluation with yourself so that you can align yourself with that, you know. And then we have the Rattle, you know, and so this is a card of like calling in, you know, and partnering with spirit, you know. And by like sort of like being in alignment with the truth and acting towards the highest good and not like necessarily out of your ego, you know, you're kind of entering into partnership with spirit, you know, because you're like building your foundation based on like the truth and not necessarily like what you want, you know, and when you are in like alignment with the highest good, everything that you need is going to naturally flow to you, you know, like when you try to force outcomes based on your ego, you know, sometimes, and that's not in alignment with the highest good, then that can really backfire, you know, and like not have a good ending, you know. But by doing that, by doing this evaluation, by aligning yourself, you know, with your true north and going into partnership with spirit, like you become the luminous warrior, you know. So this is like a light warrior. This is someone who casts no shadow, like they've examined their own darkness, you know, and they just focus all of their energy on the light, you know. So it's like they have no enemies. They're just acting in alignment with the highest good, and they're like not leaving a footprint, you know. Like this person is in alignment with the spiritual world, and you know, they're fully empowered, you know. So this is like, wow, this is some kind of new moon, huh? So, okay, I'm going to go to the Muse Tarot to get some overall energies for this reading. Ooh. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Big shakeup. And it actually really nicely matches with the colors of, you know, I was just talking about the colors. So yeah, so I'm going to keep shuffling and get some overall energies for this reading. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, I also just want to mention the videos on this channel aren't arranged according to date or zodiac sign, but they're more arranged according to storyline. So I will link related videos or other readings within this reading, you know, up here usually. But then I also have arranged videos that have similar sort of themes in playlists on the channel. And, you know, a lot of those are in the description box down below that you can check out. But there's also some playlists on the channel that you could check out. So, yeah, just a mental note. Okay. Alright, so at the bottom we have Temperance. So this is a card of alchemy. You know, like, it's kind of cool how this shows kind of like the cycles of the moon, and sort of like there's sort of like a balance there, like kind of being in alignment with that is sort of what I'm getting from this card. But we also have the Seven of Emotions, so that's the Seven of Cups. We have the Nine of Materials, and we have the Four of Materials. So it's interesting. I mean, we have a couple things. I mean, we have this is a card of just like having all these different options. There's all these little fish here, and there's all this water, you know, like all this emotion and all these little fish, but like this person is sort of like confused because it's just like, which fish should I choose? Like, I don't know. Like, there's too many options. Like, I'm kind of, you know, I'm not sure, you know. And then we have the Nine of Materials. So, I mean, this card from in the traditional deck, it's like the Nine of Pentacles. So this is like kind of like a swinging singles card, or somebody who's like sort of independent in their own right. They don't really need anybody, you know, and they're not really necessarily worried about, you know, being in a partnership because they're kind of doing their own thing, you know. But like the thing that I'm getting specifically from this right here is like this person, it's like they've broken free, you know. They've like liberated themselves, like almost from some sort of like, I don't know, I want to say bondage, you know. So it's just like maybe this person is like breaking free from this confusion. They finally have some clarity, and they're stepping into their own right, you know, like they're becoming empowered. And then it's interesting because we have the Four of Materials, which this kind of like always reminds me of Salma Hayek. Like I feel like she looks like Salma Hayek. But like in the traditional deck, this is like it's like a card of like hoarding. Like you don't want to let go of what you have because you're afraid, you know, that you won't get new stuff in, you know. And so you kind of like are a little bit, you know, stuck. Like you're not in the flow because you're just sort of like hoarding, you know. So it's just sort of like interesting because there's like the way that this came through is it's sort of like this. It's just sort of like I get this person sort of like breaking free of the bondage of just like sort of being stuck with just sort of like not really expressing themselves, or just being like overwhelmed by choices and not really being able to like make a commitment. So it's just like this person is sort of like, it's weird, you know, because like it's like almost like they're breaking free from being single, you know. They're liberating themselves from being single, which is it's a weird thing. But you know, it's just like I think both of these energies are kind of like you know, part of being single, like not really being able to commit, you know, because you're afraid, or you know, like you don't really want to like settle down with like one choice. But like it's weird because this person is like being liberated from that, you know, but it's like they're breaking free on their own, you know. But at the same time, the Nine of Pentacles, it's like the card right before the Ten of Pentacles. So it's just sort of like they're breaking free from this single life, you know, but they're still single, you know. So it's just like they're almost ready for whatever that next step is, you know. And that's kind of what I'm getting from how these fell out. So however you would take that. Okay, I'm going to the Golden Art Nouveau to get some general energies, see if I can get more clarity about what's going on. The Golden Art Nouveau is the giveaway for the month of September. So yeah, I've been doing this community building thing where I've been giving away like one deck every month, and it's been cool. Like it's not like a super huge community, but I'm kind of just doing this for fun. Like I'm ultimately wanting to like build a wellness platform, you know. Like I'm trying to rebuild my life on a foundation of wellness. I mean, I personally super fried myself out from like overworking myself and just frying myself out, you know. But also I'm kind of like right now in this stage of my life, I'm taking care of someone with dementia, so you know, everything's about wellness right now. Like that's where we're at. So, you know, this is one aspect of wellness that I think is important, you know. So enough of my babbling. Okay, interesting. Alright, so at the bottom we have the Five of Pentacles. So this just came out in a reading. I either did the last reading or the one before, but it's a card of lack, and it's a card of feeling unworthy, you know. And so this was an energy that was like needing to heal in order to facilitate this empowerment, you know. This is an energy that really, when you harbor this energy of unworthiness, you breed like toxic situations, you know, because it's like there's a whole thread about this called stalkers, you know, because that is one, like, manifestation of that kind of energy. But, like, in order to step into this next realm, you know, needing to, like, heal that energy and turn it into, like, a self-love, you know, feeling of worthiness, and in doing that, changing how you engage the world and changing how you experience it, you know. Okay, so we got the King of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Hermit upside down. It just, like, flipped out upside down. So, you know, like, if you watch this channel, you know that, like, I'm kind of anal about not putting the cards upside down, so it's kind of a big deal when they come out upside down. It flipped out this way. So anyways, this is like a harsh truth, which there's been this harsh truth that's been, like, coming online for a while. I mean, that was actually the major theme for the month of August, you know. So this harsh truth is gonna lead to sort of, like, victory, you know. This is a card of, like, someone who's fought these hard battles and, like, gone off and explored and, like, come home, you know, like a hero, and, like, they're having a parade in his honor, like a ticker tape parade, you know. And then the Hermit is, like, you know, typically it's like someone who's gone off on their own, like on a spiritual quest, but this is, like, upside down. So it's almost like coming home from this spiritual quest. So it's like you've done this evaluation about what's important to you and, like, what you want, and you're no longer, you know, confused. Like, you've gained clarity about this situation, and so this clarity is going to lead you to victory. And you're gonna, like, be, like, rejoining the world of the living, because you've learned the lesson, you've healed this energy, you know. And so now you've come back to accept the prize. You've, like, liberated yourself from what was holding you back. And so it's interesting, because what you get is, we get the Two of Cups, Justice, and we have the Five of Cups. So this is a card of kind of, like, loss, you know. There's these 3 cups spilled, you know, but it's also a card to, like, remind you of, like, the importance of where you put your perspective, you know, because this person is, like, focused on these 3 cups that are lost, but there's actually a 2 of Cups behind them. So if they actually made an intentional effort to, like, shift their focus to the 2 of Cups behind them, then there's, like, a brand new beautiful beginning that's actually part of this loss, you know, because every ending is a new beginning, you know. So it's just like there's something that's being lost in the shuffle here, but it's leading to this beautiful new beginning, you know. Like, this harsh truth is revealing this beautiful connection, you know. And so injustice is being served, you know. So even though there's a loss here and it's kind of sad, it's actually, it looks like it's just, you know. It's not just like an unjust loss, you know. I mean, it's karmic, you know. Like, it was meant to be, like, it's in alignment with the highest good, I guess you could say. And it's leading to this new beginning. I'm going to pull 3 more cards from Muse to get some guidance about how we're going to move through this moment. But definitely looks like, you know, starting to, like, re-emerge on the other side of this transformation, you know, like, changed and empowered, and, you know, as a luminous warrior, you know, which is actually a good thing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, so we got the Five of Inspiration, you know, so this is a card of conflict, you know, and it's a card of maybe having like dueling objectives, and like there's sort of like inner conflict and different opposing, you know, forces, you know, which makes sense because it's like we're doing this evaluation about like what we want to bring forward into this next stage, and it's a little confusing, you know, because it's like we're going to have to leave some things behind, but there's this harsh truth that's revealing this beautiful connection, you know, but there's a lot of conflict that's going to come up with it, you know, like not everyone is maybe going to be happy about this change, you know, there's going to be conflict that's going to rise, and drama. So it's not just going to just get handed on a silver platter. Like there's going to be work involved, you know. And then I had two cards that flipped out on top of this: justice being served and this victory and liberation from whatever's holding you back, you know. And it's just like we have the Three of Voices, you know, so this is a card of heartbreak, and this is kind of, it's like a reality check, you know. It's like you might have had like some idea of how you thought things should work out, you know, but it turns out that whatever you were thinking, like, might not be in alignment with the truth, you know. I was talking about how you gotta, like, when you build a foundation in alignment with the highest good, you know, then things are gonna work out how they're meant to, you know. But if it's not in alignment with that, if it's not in alignment with the truth, then you might come up against a harsh reality check, you know. Like there might be like a massive shakedown that's going to happen, you know, to make way for this, depending on how you've lined up with it, you know. So it's like I was saying, like there's going to be a loss here for someone, but like it is a just loss, and there's an important lesson to be learned from this, you know. So, and then we got the World. So the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new. Re-engaging the world as the luminous warrior. So this actually looks like an ominous fresh start here. I'm going to pull from my moon deck, since this is a new moon in Virgo, and see what we have to end the reading. So all right, okay, I'm gonna pull two of these maybe. All right, so we got, you're very close to achieving your goal. Prosperity lies ahead. So, yes, this luminous warrior is in alignment, you know, with the highest good. So, good things are on the horizon. Might have to go through a little bit of a heartbreaking reality check to get there, but it's leading to a good place. I'm going to the Queen of the Moon Oracle, since it is a new moon. We'll see what this message is. Overall, this is a really good reading. But yeah, really profound change and healing happening. It's like huge, like crossing over, you know, like into like a new way of being after some profound healing. Oh my gosh. So we got self-love, because I was talking about we're having to heal that energy, this lack energy, and come into an energy of self-love. So that this is so perfect. And then we got action. So it's like, yeah, we've done this work, we've healed, and now we're like re-engaging the world from a new perspective. as the luminous warrior. Wow. It's pretty ominous. So yeah, it looks like a nice fresh start happening, and I also I want to remind you, if you're interested, I've got links down below that you could check out. I have been myself facilitating this fresh start with I've been using these this supplement. It's like these ketones, and they catalyze a shift in the body from fat burning to carb burning metabolism, which has all these profound wellness benefits. I'm putting links down below to like my testimonial and you know, kind of how they work, because it's really this groundbreaking sort of innovation that's like really disrupting the wellness industry. And I don't know, I could talk for a long time about the positive impacts that it's having for me. I'm actually gonna, I think, do a separate video about that, because it's like, it's a lot of stuff. But you know, mental focus, you know, building muscle, you know, burning fat, like it's really good for your like mental stability, brain health. There's a lot of things. So I'm gonna just leave you with that thought, and we'll check back soon with some more readings. Okay, so I just popped it back up for 1 second because I was like shuffling the decks as I was putting the cards away, and this plopped out, and it was the New Moon in Virgo card, which seemed appropriate since this is a New Moon in Virgo reading. But the message is, it's a time to give rather than to take. So I'll leave you with that thought.